Angeles, where I don't want to ruin the fun, but we find ourselves once again on fire. There's another fire spreading north of us at Castaic Lake. Thousands of people are being evacuated again. And I have to say, in times like these, that I am grateful that we have stiff-spined, strong-minded leaders like Squirrel of the House Mike Johnson, who pulled Trump's little nuts out of his mouth for just a minute, long enough to assure us that he would never sink so low as to play politics with much-needed federal aid to our state.
You go to California, they're a sanctuary state. L.A. and San Francisco are sanctuary cities.
Yeah.
Okay. Gavin is doubling down on a fight Trump agenda, you know, Trump-proof California.
Right.
And so are you saying that California, if they continue to aid and abet law-breaking and harbor illegal immigrants, money from D.C. gets cut off?
Yeah, we're talking about conditions to this disaster. Look, there are natural disasters, but there are man-made disasters as well.
And which one are you? Because you would think, as people living in an area prone to wildfires, we'd get a bit more sympathy from an elf who lives in a hollowed-out tree, but that doesn't fly in Magaland, I guess. Mike Johnson is such a little kiss-ass. I've been trying to figure out who he reminds of. I think it's this guy, the little, yes. There's Donald and Mike. The fact of the matter is, the only man-made part of this disaster is the climate change part of this disaster, which Mike's party pretends does not exist, even though they're having snowball fights on Bourbon Street today. There was snow in Louisiana today. They got 9 inches of snow in Florida today. This hasn't happened in 70 years. A blanket of snow covered the beach, the Florida Panhandle. There was snow from Tallahassee to Pensacola. Children were voluntarily being swallowed by alligators just to stay warm. In Lafayette, Louisiana, the unusually icy roads had drivers and even weather reporters on edge.
John, you know, we've seen our fair share. Look, there's somebody peeling out. Watch out, John. Watch out, John. See, this is something we encourage people not to do. I don't know how cool that guy thinks he is. I wish that Lafayette police officer would roll up on him and shut that down. Hey, man, can you turn your lights on and shut that down? Unbelievable, bro. So that's the kind of stuff we don't love to do, which is why at Acadiana, at times you wonder why we may be standing in certain spots. Just not it, bro. And you know, John's got a family, I got a family. We're all just trying to do our job, bringing you up to date. That was whack. I know my boy thought he was cool, but I ain't rocking with it. Super lame. Anyway, let me chill out. Boy, I tell you what, John, that got me hot, bro. That got me hot, baby. I wish you would roll back over here, man. We'll show them what's happening. I'm just kidding. Anyway, Acadiana, please be safe.
Can we get a therapist to the corner of Evangeline Thruway and Surrey Street? Because we got a time bomb waiting to blow there. In Philadelphia, it's so cold right now, some of the locals have lost the ability to spell.
Well, listen, we've got to do this. Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles! Let's go, birds!
That's how you spell E? No, that was the mayor of Philadelphia. That was the mayor. I've never seen anyone spell a word so wrong in so many different ways. This has to be God punishing us for pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord. It snowed in Georgia, Alabama, it snowed in Texas. Senator Ted Cruz is requesting an extra blanket on his United flight to Cabo as we speak. It did not snow at Mar-a-Lago. That's when hell officially freezes over. But our commander-in-chief meteorologist he's coming here to L.A. on Friday to survey the damage from the fires and also to share his deep understanding of how we could easily get out of this mess.
The sprinklers, there's sprinklers in there like these right here that you see. None of them had any water in them. The sprinklers on the lawn weren't allowed to even be used. So we're demanding that they turn the valve back toward Los Angeles right now. It's not even believable that they haven't done it. Just so you know, they have a valve and it turns like, think of a sink, but multiply it times many thousands of times the size of it. It's massive. And you turn it back toward Los Angeles. Why aren't they doing it?
Such a good question. How did we forget about our giant super sink that we could have? Just so you know, we do not have a valve like a sink in Los Angeles that we can turn. to shut the fires off. That makes sense. That makes no sense to anyone, including him. But nobody says anything. No one corrects him. The emperor, not only doesn't he have any clothes, he's in the shower waiting for a drip of water to come out.
They wanted to restrict you to 38 gallons of water a day. That sounds like a lot, but it's not when you're a rich person and you like to take a shower.
That's right. Rich people like to shower. The poors prefer to live in filth. That's just how it is. By the way, that was from a press conference about AI and infrastructure. So he's right back where he left off, shooting the breeze with reporters, grabbing everything he can. Trump has reportedly made $6 billion from the new crypto coin he launched 3 days before his inauguration. No one seems to have a problem with this. For all the talk about Hunter and Burisma and the Biden crime family, Trump just made $6 billion out of thin air, and they ask him about it, he just laughs it off.
You launched your crypto coin the other day. Do you intend to continue selling products that benefit yourself personally while you're president?
Well, I don't know if it benefited. I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it other than I launched it. I heard it was very successful. I haven't checked it. Where is it today?
You made a lot of money, sir.
How much?
Several $billion, it seems like, in the last several days.
Several billion? That's peanuts for these guys.
Anyway, I am outraged by the cost of eggs. It's, he doesn't pay any attention to how much money he made. It's just not the kind of person he is. He doesn't care about that stuff. I was reading today that a lot of reporters, even from the so-called liberal news media, are happy that Trump is back because he actually talks to them. You know, Joe Biden rarely looked up from his Malta meal, but now, all of a sudden, the White House is active and full of surprises. Oops, that was Seb Gorka. He wasn't the only one who stumbled onto a hot set. In fact, I believe the president himself, too. Is he on Ozempic? Because he looks great. Meanwhile, the mass deportations Trump promised are underway. Large-scale raids on undocumented immigrants started today, which means Melania is hiding in her bedroom for 2 reasons now. Yesterday, the president signed an order to lift all government DEI requirements and to put all federal employees who are working on DEI-related initiatives on immediate leave. Donald Trump won't be satisfied until his administration is as white as the chiclets his son calls teeth. But he will not tolerate DEI. DUI, fine, but no on the E. It really is so brazen. Trump says the only thing that matters when hiring people are aptitude and qualifications. Now, please confirm this blackout drunk I pulled off Fox News for Secretary of Defense, okay? Turns out drinking on the job might actually be one of the least disqualifying things about Pete Hegseth. According to reports from multiple news outlets, his former sister-in-law alleges that Hegseth's wife was terrified he would abuse her to the point where she and her sister had a code to text each other if her husband became violent, and she feared for her safety. The code was, "This man should never be Defense Secretary of the United States." And now, Donald Trump wants them to have the nuclear codes. The Senate's hoping to vote on Hegseth this week. Meanwhile, it was smooth sailing for Marco Rubio, who was confirmed unanimously as Secretary of State. Marco Rubio is the first ever Hispanic Secretary of State and also the first cabinet official small enough to fit inside an actual cabinet. This is mind-boggling. Not only did Trump let all 1,600 of the simpletons who stormed the Capitol off the hook this week, he's currently mulling the idea of hosting them all at the White House. One of the stormtroopers he pardoned was the self-proclaimed QAnon Shaman, a guy named Jacob Chansley, who was sentenced to 41 months in prison. Yesterday, he celebrated his pardon on Twitter. He wrote, "I got a pardon, baby. Thank you, President Trump. Now I am going to go buy some mother effing guns. I love this country. God bless America. Mom, can I have some money for guns?" I'm starting to think he might not be a real shaman, you know? He's clean-shaven now. He's been dehorned, and for whatever reason, he agreed to sit for an interview yesterday with the BBC.
they imprisoned me for 27 months, 10 and a half in solitary confinement. And then they released me to the public as social pariah without the ability to own a firearm. So I can never really actually bring in a gun to a gunfight. I always have to bring a knife to a gunfight. And you do realize how wrong that is, right?
Jake, you pleaded guilty.
I pleaded guilty. So, is this how we do things in England, I say? Yes, yes, you can't see, you know, the forest for the trees, my dear? Hmm?
I bet his cellmate is so happy he's gone. What gunfights is he going to? How long until one of these guys gets arrested again? One of them drops a gun out of his pants at Hobby Lobby or accidentally sets fire to his local bait shop. At least a quarter of these dopes Trump pardoned had prior criminal records. One of the guys had 38 previous convictions, 11 for violence or violent threats. Wasn't Trump's plan to remove the criminals from the general population? I can't believe I voted for this guy 3 times. Tonight, tonight is a special night at the White House. It's Donald and Melania's 20th wedding anniversary. 20 years is a long time, especially for Melania. This morning, Trump paid tribute to his longest-serving wife by reposting this AI image of himself with a lion. And then, I'm guessing he noticed a bunch of people posting about his anniversary, which remind him, oh, it's my anniversary. So he then reposted this sweet photo of Melania literally pushing him away from her. Then he posted a long love letter to Russia and Vladimir Putin, and then he posted this, happy 20th anniversary to Melania. Melania posted nothing to celebrate. You know, the traditional present for a 20th anniversary is China, which is a country Trump blames for a lot of things, but also an exquisite commemorative gift.
Hello, everyone. I have something incredible to share today. We are announcing the launch of the Donald and Melania 20th Trumpiversary China Collection. This line of beautiful plates commemorate all of my and the third Mrs. Trump's most romantic moments. Our intimate dinners, strolls on the tarmac, super hot makeout sessions, and the hole on my golf course where I will eventually bury her. Like all of my products, this China is made in China by child laborers whose hands are even tinier and more supple than my own. And that's not all. The Trumpiversary collection features classified document placemats with real military secrets, a signature Eric Trump adult bib, a Pete Hegseth 64-ounce wine glass, the Marjorie Taylor Greene signature tablecloth with eye holes, and the Steve Bannon gravy bar. That's why they call him Sloppy Steve. What a mess he is. The Donald and Melania 20th Trumpiversary China Collection. Own it today for just 12 easy payments of $89.99, $99, $99, $99. Available wherever dangerous lead products are sold.